Traditionally, the artist in a tribe, about 2% of people in a tribe will become an artist or a shaman, and they're the ones that hear the voices and see the visions, and traditionally they'd be protected and nurtured by the tribe. Still, such a small percent of people become an artist in this day and age, but these days we don't seem to support or nourish them so much as a culture anymore. And I was wondering what your thoughts were about that.
I don't think we don't nurture and value our artists. I think we value our artists greatly.
Maybe
People
I'm talking
love
from an
art.
Australian perspective.
No, I think look at these people. They love art. They loved our dome. We had a lot of art in our dome. I think artists are valued probably, well, the most expensive square inch that you can purchase is a work of art.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. Maybe
it's valued like higher than gold.
I mean, that's a way that art is regarded in the world.
Now that doesn't mean that you're feeling that way in your particular culture or even city or even neighborhood or something or age group or whatever, you know.
Nevertheless, for some, art is of tremendous value, and for some, art is a whipping boy and a political, hot potato, and for some people, it's a matter of life and death, and that they have to do it.
I want to say something. Art exposes the person, and so it has to be authentic, and it has to be, it has to move, touch, and inspire the viewer, or they're not interested. So it's the artists that have to come up to that standard. Artists have to raise and cultivate their ability to move, touch, and inspire viewers.
And I'd like to ask
it's their responsibility.
and your thoughts on this topic about like a symbolic imagery being the most condensed form of information that you could perhaps display, which is why art is important, because it conveys a lot of information in a small place.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's the skin of the psyche of people, and so you have the pattern languages, all the different world wisdom traditions. They've all evolved different ways of patterning the infinite, and quite amazing, and quite compatible, actually. And so now artists have a unique position. They can mine the cultures of the past.
The Akashic record.
Exactly. Or go straight to the Akashic records that are on the interior by exploring it through psychedelics and things. They can deeply see a visionary source that is infinite in supply.
I was reading in the Mission of Art that you have this concept, or maybe it's not your concept, but the art holon, which means getting through to the essential meaning of the painting, even though there's so much imagery in there. And can you tell me a bit about the art holon and the best way to experience it? To try and connect with the source of the meaning that the painter tried to imbue, or did imbue, even though they didn't try it.
I think that the artist attempts to become transparent to a creative source, to the best of their ability.
Absolutely.
And so you look to that force or source that is beyond you.
Beyond the ego.
Whatever you are, I guess, you know, and you're tapped into an energy source. All of us is tapped into an energy source, even oxygen, all the, the gravity, everything that's supporting this reality wavelength, is supporting it. And so spirit is supporting this reality.
Which was my next question was, do you feel as though there's a source of art that is trying to convey messages to humanity through those that destroy their ego?
Absolutely. It's a spiritual source. It's a creative spirit.
Absolutely.
It's like, that's what it is.
That's it.
And it's going through, I'm convinced that the creative spirit is the evolutionary wave of consciousness.
Absolutely.
Right? And So it has expressed through different cultures and different religions at different times throughout civilization.
The different
and so,
lens.
Exactly. So what's important not so much is the ancient civilization that we were in resonance with.
Because I do feel in resonance with practically every mystical wisdom tradition. You know, they all have their source in the visionary mystical dimension.